it's my own fault. I chose this life. Now people I care about are getting hurt because of me.
Jason, none of this is your fault.
Rick put you through hell on that stand because of me,
I don't
Elizabeth.
care. I don't regret any choices we have made for Jake.
Well, congratulations.
How long have you known that Jason and Elizabeth, they slept together?
Since the night after it happened. The night before I had sex with Rick. Yeah, I know, it was stupid and self-destructive, but Jason and I were having problems, and I thought I was losing him, so I figured I'd get it over with. You know, I dragged the pain out, pull the Band-Aid off quickly.
But you knew that Jason hated Rick.
Yes, I did, and on some level, I knew that my sleeping with Rick would end things between Jason and I, so after several drinks, I went for it. Yeah.
How did Jason find out?
I was honest with him. I had to be. I thought about it, and I knew I had to be, so I told him everything, and I told him how much I regretted it, because I did. And in return, Jason was honest with me, and he told me that he saw Rick and I together that night, and he went back to the penthouse, and lo and behold, Elizabeth shows up. She was upset about you and Maxie, and Jason told me the two of them had slept together. He said they were consoling each other, but he didn't
Regret it.
Then Elizabeth came by and asked us to keep it a secret from you.
Jason, I never wanted to cut you out of Jake's life. Or out of mine.
Might have been easier for all of us.
I asked you to give up your son to another man. I would never tell you that you couldn't see him.
This has made your life too complicated.
I'm in knots every day trying to do what's best for Jake and to protect Lucky as well. And look at what happened. I ended up hurting Lucky even more.
And what about Lucky? You think you can get past the fact that we were together?
I don't know. But at least it's out in the open so he can come to me and talk about it. Or not. He just needs to decide what he wants.
What about you? What do you want?
Said that she and Jason only slept together that one time and it would never happen again. She didn't want you to find out because she didn't know how you would handle it. I think she was trying to protect you.
Yeah, she gave me that line too. As if she did a good deed by lying.
I think that she thought that your recovery was on shaky ground. Lucky, she didn't want you to relapse. I'm sorry that I've got to be the one to tell you.
Sam, I don't blame you. Elizabeth made me believe that she was loyal and I was the only one who cheated.
I wanted to tell you the truth. I actually went to tell you the truth, but I was angry and I didn't want anything to come out of spite. You deserve better than that.
No, we both did.
You and Elizabeth, you were getting married, and I was trying really hard to work things out with Jason. But Elizabeth always was making her way to come see Jason, and I finally asked her, like, what was up? Why are you spending so much time with him? And she was, like, reassuring me that nothing romantic was going on. They were just good friends, and the sex was only that one night.
Yeah, what do you believe?
Lucky and I have been living a lie for almost a solid year. Since before we got married. I don't know if he's going to be able to get past this.
I mean, he lied. We've all been lying.
Yeah, well, before we got married, he admitted to everything. He thought we were being honest with each other. I'm the one who decided that he wasn't strong enough to handle the truth. He felt betrayed, he's insulted, and if I were in his shoes, I would feel the same. But when he was taking those pills, he almost destroyed himself. I can't risk him relapsing. And I honestly believe that no matter what happened, Jake would be safer if everyone thought he was Lucky's.
And that's what you're supposed to do. You're looking out for your kids.
Well, that's not how Lucky sees it.
And what if he decides to leave? And what would you do?
Raise my boys on my own.
Is that what you want to do?
Jason and Elizabeth slept together since that night in August?
I don't know.
Sam, what's your guess?
I don't know. My guess is a few months ago, if you would have asked me if I would have ever thought that Jason would cheat on me or lie to me, I would have said no. Sometimes when you're in love, you see what you want to see, plain and simple.
Elizabeth had me fooled. Now I'm starting to question everything she said.
Jason and Elizabeth do have something in common. They are able to look you in the eye and say something so sincerely, you are certain they're telling you the truth. But now I look back on some things that Jason told me, and I just...
What? What? Like what?
I don't... He used to go out at night, and I wouldn't ask, dare I, where he was going, and he obviously wouldn't offer the information. I would just assume he was going out on his motorcycle and taking a ride into the country. But now I think about it, and I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, Elizabeth. Yeah, she would work late hours. And I never checked or whether she would come straight home from the hospital.
I do know that Jason and Elizabeth have spent some time meeting in secret. What are you doing here? I came to apologize to Lucky for keeping the secret that you and Jason had slept together.
Oh, we can work things out for ourselves.
Sam was only trying to help.
Yeah, I thought he deserved to know the truth.
Well, you're not exactly an objective third party. Now I would like you to leave my
guess
home.
not.
Elizabeth.
You know what? No. I wish this year had never happened, but I will settle for being treated with respect. Lucky, I am truly sorry for letting this go on as long as it did.
Ugh, that woman is so transparent.
Yeah, if you mean she's being honest. Yeah, I think she is.
No, Lucky, she didn't have to come over here. She did it to make things worse.
Yeah, and where were you at? Seeing Jason?
Yes. Lucky, wait.
Well, do you want the optimistic spin or the unpleasant reality?
Just tell me where we stand.
Rick has done a very persuasive job of making it look like Elizabeth has been covering for you.
Rick never got over Elizabeth, and it kills him that she was with me.
Well, be that as it may, Elizabeth has now perjured herself by lying on the stand and saying that you are not her child's father.
You don't think Rick bought it?
He seemed to. But my guess is it won't take him long before he decides he wants it verified by a paternity
You see,
test.
this is the problem, Diane. It has nothing to do with the trial at all. You need to tell the judge that it's irrelevant.
Listen, of course I will do everything I can, but Rick is going to argue that if Elizabeth would lie about that, she would lie about your activities on the day Lorenzo Alcazar disappeared. Now, Rick could get a court order to have a paternity test on little Jacob Martin. Jacob Martin, I'm sorry, Jason, but Elizabeth just was not subtle when she chose that name. A paternity test would prove that the boy is your son. Rick would score even more points for his case. You will be that much closer to a prison cell. And now Elizabeth could be charged with perjury. Rick may be unwilling to prosecute Elizabeth for perjury if he still harbors feelings for
Now,
her.
trust me, Rick will do anything to put me away.
Okay. At this point, Elizabeth Spencer is the least of your worries. Rick is building a very compelling image of you as a professional killer. And that videotape of you arriving at the PCPD, grabbing a gun and firing at the shooters was very effective for him. And very bad for us.
What do you take? It was a tape. It was self-defense.
I know it was self-defense. The point is the jury watched as you killed 3 men. Speed and efficiency. Despite being handcuffed and shackled, you are trained in the use of firearms. The jury now knows that. Add to that the fact that you have no alibi for the time that Lorenzo Alcazar disappeared. And Rick has even more damning evidence on the way. The audio tape of Lorenzo Alcazar saying your name, then a shot rings out, virtually identifying you as the killer.
Okay, can you find a way to discredit the evidence?
I think at this point, it will be more effective to discredit Rick himself. Find a way to undermine his credibility with the jury. Nevertheless, there may come a time when I advise you to accept a plea bargain.
No, that's not, Diane, that is not going to happen. There's no...
Listen to me. I cannot guarantee you an acquittal. If you pass up a plea bargain and the jury convicts you of murder one, you go to prison for the rest of your life.